Hello, guys. Today we are having a get to know me. That is an unplugged session, Q&A session on my take on life, love, and relationship. So I will be answering a couple of questions which I've gotten from here and there, on the internet as well as from friends. Basically, I will be answering these questions based on how I feel. This is not personal. This is just how I feel. Me. Yes, this is how I feel. So if you feel differently and you have different points of views from mine, feel free to use the comment section. All right, let's dive in. All right. So question number one: what do you value the most in a partner? Okay, let's keep it real. I would say authenticity. Be authentic. Be real. Intelligence. You guys get sense. Be smart. And I think a shared sense of adventure. I believe everyone will basically be more attracted to someone who matches their energy level. So just be adventurous. I'm adventurous. So since it's personal, I think a shared sense of adventure is one of the most important factors I'll value most. Okay, number two, what is the most important quality in a relationship? The most important quality in a relationship. Okay, I'll give two or three perhaps that I feel are the most important qualities in a relationship. I would say qualities because I believe one doesn't go without the other. The very first thing I think about is emotional intelligence. Well, I feel like emotional intelligence is the most important quality of every relationship. Why? Because you should be able to identify emotions and triggering factors in oneself and your partner or the other person, and being able or being self-aware enough and able to navigate through those in handling conflicts. I don't know if I make sense here. You should be able to identify them and being able to manage them when handling conflicts, like how to approach them, how to tackle them when handling conflicts. I'm talking about the person, not the emotions per se, because when you have already identified the emotions, you will know how to approach that person, how to speak to that person, how to handle certain things with that person. I think emotional intelligence is very important in every relationship. Like, understand you have to compromise at a certain point. Try to understand the other, put yourself in the other person's shoes always. It's very important, very necessary. The second thing that I feel goes with emotional intelligence is vulnerability. In one point, I would say your partner can never understand your emotions if you are not vulnerable around them. Yeah, because it takes vulnerability to be able to show some certain emotions. Yeah, because if you are not vulnerable to someone, there's only few emotions you can show. There's only few triggering emotions you can show, and I think that will be directed mostly towards anger, or maybe towards I don't want to say the word, but towards using the person per se. But I feel like you need to be vulnerable around your partner. That's one thing that is very important. If you're not vulnerable, if you don't feel comfortable to be vulnerable around somebody, that means it's not the person. Either the person didn't give you the reason to be vulnerable around them, or you're too scared to be vulnerable around them. And all of that, I think, comes from past traumas that has to be treated first before jumping into a next relationship. So your past demon shouldn't affect the next good thing that comes into your life. So I feel like vulnerability is the second one, and a sense of genuine connection. The resolution of a problem starts in the argument, not after the argument. You need to be an active listener. Listen to understand the person. I usually say this: if you toss the coin and if you put this to your mind, it will help you to understand in a lot of ways when you're having an argument with your partner. Take, for example, the coin trick. If you toss the coin into the air, it's 6 coin. If that coin falls in front of us, you're standing opposite me. You're facing me. You're standing facing me, right? I have a 6 coin. I tossed it into the air and it falls down. from your point of view, from your place, from where you stand, you will see a 6. But from where I stand, I won't see a 6. I'll be seeing a 9. Does that make sense? I will be seeing a 9, but you'll be seeing a 6. All right? So that means every information that you receive or you pass across, when it reaches the other person that is taking in that information, it reaches differently because we're different human beings. The way you send out a message, the way I receive it will not be the way you think I should receive it. I have a brain of my own, I have a mind of my own, I have an understanding of my own, I have a way of thinking of my own, so I'll receive it differently. And most of the times it's during conflicts that this happens, because take for example when people are in love, right, and everything is going well. If I say, hey babe, pass me the remote, it's hey babe, pass me the remote. Everything is fine. But if I'm angry at you or we are having a conflict and I be like, give me my phone, you say, you want to take your phone now, so you don't want me to touch your phone again, it becomes a problem. You get the point? So handling conflicts, I think, active listening is very important. And the next thing I'll put in place would be empathy. You need to empathize. Yeah, empathizing enough. Yeah, empathy is one very important factor. I won't elaborate on that. And the third thing will be coming to common grounds, because at the end of the day, you want to resolve that. I don't feel like you should resolve that after the argument. I feel like it's always good to resolve that during the argument, coming to a common ground, knowing that at the end of it, or at one point, one person will have to compromise, or both of you will have to compromise, knowing when to put a stop to the conflict. Yeah. So coming to a common ground is something very important in conflict resolution. So the first one I said is active listening, which is something very important and everybody needs to have. Second one, empathy, and the third one I would say is okay, how do you build trust in your relationship? Building trust. You first of all have to build that space. I think to build trust in a relationship, you have to build that space for where both parties are comfortable enough to share. Yeah. When both parties are comfortable enough to share, everything just flows. So I think consistency is one thing that I will prioritize. Consistency is one thing I'll prioritize in building trust. I would say transparency. Be transparent enough. He or she should have access to your data if they want to. It's not advised, but if they want to, why not? But it's not advised. He or she can have access to your data, because something that will never stop. Men don't usually do that, but most feminine men out here constantly do that. But men don't really care about that, but the women will always want to do it and be transparent enough to let it happen. All right? Yeah, transparency, consistency, and I think you follow through with your commitments. You just have to follow through your commitments. If you've made a commitment, make sure you follow through your commitments. If you've said, "Oh, I will do this in this so amount of time," make sure you do it, because it tightens the bond, and it reassures the other partner. Yeah, it reassures. Okay, number 5. How do you show love and affection? Okay, I would say meaningful conversations, meaningful long conversations, date nights, Netflix and chill date nights, most especially, one of my favorites. Yeah, so just get a great bottle of wine, couple of other drinks. Yeah, only 2 here, but get it. Have varieties. If you can't afford it, get a bouquet. It always spices the night, and put some scents around, beautiful smells, switch off the light, put the Netflix, let her choose a movie. Guys, this is very important. Let her choose a movie. At the end of the day, if she chooses a movie, no, let her choose a movie and don't sleep. Because at the end of the day, if you choose a movie, she'll sleep. And if you choose a movie, she'll sleep. If she chooses a movie, well, you'll sleep as well, but make sure you don't sleep. So let's choose a movie and don't sleep, and then just have a cool time. Little gestures, little thoughtful gestures here and there, thoughtful gestures, and a couple of appreciations always, like nice words, whispering nice words here and there, especially in public. Yeah, that always gets them. Yeah, that's how I show love and affection. So question number 6, what will be your perfect date night? I think I already answered that question in number 5, how do I show love and affection? Because it's not just about showing love and affection, it's as well receiving it, right? Yeah, you do what you would like someone to do to you. But what would be a perfect date night for me? Getaway, perfect getaway to a resort or a mountain place or a different city. Perfect getaway in a beautiful hotel. Yeah, and as I said, Netflix and chill. That'll be a perfect date night for me. Netflix and chill, just home. You know how it ends. Yeah, Netflix and chill, home, and a good bottle of wine. Yeah, that'll be a perfect date night for me with food. I love food. Okay, number 7. How do you prioritize communication? I don't quite get the question. How do I prioritize communication in my relationship? All right. I already spoke about active listening. So I would say check-ins here and there, constant check-ins here and there, constant texting, check-ins here and there. Yeah, and clarity in expression. Yeah, when you're passing across an information, be clear enough that be articulate enough to pass your information across. Say what you feel, but be clear enough. Yeah. So if you have to be clear in passing across information, you have to be an active listener. You listen to understand what the person or where the person is coming from, and always checking in, calls, video calls. Yeah, here and there. Yeah, couple of hours. Like I can say every 2 hours. I do that always, so every 30 minutes is even better. Anyway, every 2 hours is good. Number 4. What are your deal breakers? Well, my deal breakers. It's very simple. Lack of honesty. If you're not honest, no go zone. Disrespectful. If you're disrespectful, I'm not there. And stagnation. We have to be heading somewhere. If we're not heading somewhere, then what's the need of staying? What's the need of being with someone if you're not going somewhere, right? If we're stagnant, no go zone. Okay. Question number 9. How do you balance independence and interdependence? Interdependence, I think it's coexistence. Interdependence, how do I balance that? Well, that's a tough one. I think respecting individuality while still nurturing growth and shared connections. Yeah, so what are the things that we connect through or we connect with? I think I will still nurture those while still respecting individuality. Yeah, I think that's how I would do to balance independence. And so question number 10, what are you looking for? Oh, what have I found? Okay, I would just generalize. I think I don't know how to answer this question, but well, if I was to answer this question, what am I looking for? I would say someone who embodies curiosity, resilience, and an adventurous person. Yeah. Okay, guys, that was a sneak peek into my world and how I see relationship. If you were curious about me, that was a Q&A just to give you some highlights on how I see the world. That was not really the world. I was not meant to say that, on how I see relationship. All right. Thank you for listening. I hope we'll do this once again. That was BA. Peace out.